Okay, students, you asked about me doing a video for the sectioning for the 9th section. This is the way I usually teach my students to do it. And then once you get used to doing it, you don't have to do all these different sections. You just kind of go right with it. Normally what people do is they have you section right at the center, right at the upper ridge, and then they have you do the whole Mohawk thing. Well, you stay with that forever when you do it that way. You know, if you can do it that way, fantastic. After a while, you will, because you'll know how to do it. What I did with this mannequin, when I did it earlier, I had all those little stringies driving me nuts. So what I did was I went ahead and did a 0 on her to clean that up and not have those little stringy hairs. So what I'm going to do right now, where did the bangs end? Right there. I'm just going to section this off and get that parietal line up. All right, so, and I'll be turning the mannequin around. The mannequin's pretty much going to stay on this stand as I do this. So I'm going to take the comb, hold it straight out. You see that it's horizontal and it's traveling around that parietal line. It's perfectly straight to it, so it's traveling around it. And if I do this correctly, as I travel around it, let me loosen this again, because I want you to see it all. So as I do this correctly, see my comb is horizontal to it. That's doing the work for me. That's why I say you've got to learn how to visualize what horizontal is. Now, do you see that one little spot right there? Okay, because it's wet, it's a little easier. That's why I had you guys do it wet this afternoon. Okay, turn the head a little more, and we should end up right at the same spot. I don't want my hair, my own head getting in the way. So horizontal, there you go. Following that same line. It's not different. Horizontal. Again, peel that away. See it? Horizontal. And where did I end up? Exactly where the bang ends. Know what a horizontal line is. Okay, clean that up just a scotch. And see, even though I've been doing this forever, I mean, you guys don't expect to get it exactly right the first time every time. I still have to go back and clean it up. So what makes you think that you wouldn't have to go back and clean it up? So you can see that that is straight along with it. Turn the mannequin around for you to see the front. There we are. Totally straight. Clean that up right there. That's all we need. And then I'm just going to clip it up. And I've got a lot of hair right there, so I'm going to use one of my bigger, one of these butterfly clamps. Okay, Mildred, stay straight up. Okay, so I'm going to make sure that that's totally out of the way right there. So I'm going to turn her around, and like I told you this afternoon again, I want to make sure that you can see this. All right? I'm going to take it. Let me do this first. What's the steps? What's the next step? Flat part of the head, right? So I'm going to take my comb. There the comb is flat. Bring it straight down. Pull that out. Do you see where that's exactly right at that area where the hair folds down a bit? I'm going to curl this up and move it forward. Got all my clippies right here behind me. And get that out of the way. I'm going to go over to the other side. Again, the mannequin is not leaving the stand. The mannequin is going to stay on the stand so you can see everything. right, again, the comb flat, straight down, and there you go. It's the exact same spot as the other side, right there on that line. There you go. Perfect. So get this out of the way. So first step, parietal line. Second step, organize the flat part of the head. Get that out of the way. You're done with that. Now, you turn these the right way. You guys have to fuss with that with your own mannequin stands. So, bring it up. Now I am at the vertex. Comb all that straight down so you can see it. Right here, center part of the head. Right there. See, it goes one way, then the other. That's the center part. I'm going to use the large teeth of the comb. I'm going to put it on the very center part of the head, where the comb leaves the head. That's where I have the ends. Make sure that my comb is perfectly horizontal. Clip this out of the way. And this time so it totally stays out of the way, because that's a little more hair. All right, now I'm going to do it lefty. See, so it's the same thing. Comb leaves the head. Perfectly straight down. Get that out of the way. And then I check it to see what do I need to do to change that a bit. I can see where this one's a little bit more narrow, so I'm going to check it. Get this out of the way. And how do we check it? We look underneath. Where is that point? So I'm going to bring the mannequin head straight down for you to see again. Like I said, the mannequin is not leaving the stand. Okay, so here's my point. Now see where I am. Let me put that right there. Just a little wider on this side than I am on the other side. You see that? See how small this is? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it even. So I'm going to turn it around so I can see it. And I want you to see the angle of the comb right now. See where it's at it's a little bit over a bit? So I'm going to take this straight up. Again, know what a vertical and horizontal line is. Let's look at it again. Are we even now? Need to take off a little bit on this side. See where this line is now straight? And you can see where this line, let me turn it around because I want you to see it. This line is just a little bit off. So I'm going to move that over. I'm just going to kind of lean it there for now. And I'm going to pick this straight up. Straight up. Move this hair out of the way. Comb it out of the way. Straight up to the vertex. Comb that hair out of the way. Add this to the center. We're doing the mohawk right now, and this right here is the hardest part. Okay, I'm going to tie this up again. Bring this in. What did I do with it? Okay, I'm just going to put a duckbill here. Get this out of the way. So again, look at the bottom. Are we even? And you can see if I take the comb there and bring it here, we're even. It's, let me turn it around so I can see it. No, I think I'm a little wider on this side still. So I'm going to bring it over. Again, see, it's harder when I'm leaning over. So let me bring this so that I can truly see it. And take that line straight up. And again, you check it. Are we straight up? Yes, we are. Check that. Are we straight up? And at the center. Wonderful. I love it when those things happen. Okay. Again. And when the hair's wet, it is so much easier because it actually holds better. Get that out of the way. Okay. Now again, let's take a look at the bottom. We look a little smaller there, still yet a little. Are we actually wider there, or is that the way the hair's falling? Let's look at it. No, we're the same. We're pretty much the same. The direction of the hair makes it look like it's off, but I'm going to turn it around for you to see it. There's that. Measure it. I'm sorry about my head. Just a scotch. Not a lot. And this is what's going to take the time. If it's taking the time with me, what makes you think it's not going to take time with you? We want both of these sides to be perfectly even. We want the center, that's good. That's very good. All right. So now the next step, we've got this down. These two are even. And you want to check the top too. Is this even? Yes and yes. You want to check this area too, that they're both even. So we know that that line is straight. We know that it's gone straight up and down. All right, so now what we're going to do, we're going to take it tip of the ear down the center. This is the next step. And I'm really going to curl that hair in for now. It's wet, it will hold. When it's dry, it doesn't hold that well. Then I'm going to take this one and I'm going to wrap it up. Okay. There you go. I'm going to take that center section, do the same thing, follow the same line. Okay? Oops. Let me tighten this up. We're trying to fall apart here. Okay, take that center section. And I should be doing that with my rat tail comb. Bring it in. Take this, curl it up. Turn the mannequin so you can see it. And again, tip of the ear to tip of the ear, same spot. And don't get all worked up if you're a little bit off. You do want to keep that line as straight as you can, and you can always go back in and do it again. We used to have to do this for state board, and it got to the point that state board realized this isn't an extreme when it comes to making sure that you have it. The extreme is roller placement, client protection, stuff like that. So now we just do the center Mohawk section, and you saw how long that took to do. Okay, so I've got these all organized. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a center part at the top. Now that center part at the top, the first thing I'm going to do is follow through with the Mohawk. But first, I'm going to measure it from her nose, from the middle of her nose. All right, how do I create a center part? Very center nose right there. So I'm just going to do this and separate it. Okay, and then follow through with the comb. Make sure that that's a good center part. Now, what did I tell you about being able to section this off so that you're directly at above, right at the upper ridge. There's the little white of the eye right there. So I'm going to take this, bring it up, bring it back, and match it with that back mohawk. That's all I'm doing. I'm going to turn it around for you to see it. There she is. She's getting matched with that mohawk. Right now, this is squared off. Don't worry about that right now. We're going to match this with the mohawk, and then we're going to bring this down. All right, so I'm going to add this to the flat part of the head for now. This is just a way for you to see how to do a 9 section and then get it accurately done. All right, again, her eye, straight line up, and I'm going to take that straight back, bring it down, and I want to make sure that I got this just right with the eye right there. I'm standing in front of it because every time I turn it, I lose it. And I do want you guys to get this, so you'll be standing in front of yours and you'll be looking at those little whites of the eyes right there. See it? See it? Right there. But then we want this line to be perfectly straight as well. Now this is where you match it up to the back. You're going to bring it straight back, and it's not going to fit perfectly, and I'm going to show you why in just a minute. You see where that's slightly rounded and inverts in a little bit. All right, so these are things that you've got to look at. Now do you see how that line changed and became straight, and it is matching with the back? I'm going to show it to you. There it is. Don't worry about this little corner right here, right now. All right, so we've matched that with the back. Now let's make sure that we've got the other side to match with the back. And you see where that kind of comes up a little bit. I'm going to lock it so it's not moving around all over the place. I think I'm turning this the right. Is it righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, right? Righty-tighty. There you go. Right tight, left loose. All right, so here's my section right here. So I want to take this, bring that down to that one, and I want to make sure again that my line is straight. And I look at it from the front, and you'll see, let me show you. I want you to see this, lefty-loosey, all right. I want you to see this. See how this kind of goes out a bit? This is what happens, this is what you'll see when you're standing directly in front of it. You'll be able to see it invert out a bit. This line is a little bit straighter. So those are the things that you're going to take care of. And like I said, after a while, you just get it. There's the eye. So we go straight, drop that down. Yep, there you go. And like I said, I'm having her face me because what ends up happening is when I turn it to the side, it looks right to me, but it doesn't look right to you. So I want to make sure that you see it, so you have to look at it straight on. Now, if you look at this straight on, it's got just a scotch right there. That's got to come down. So this is, the mohawk is going to be the hardest part for you to take care of. So I'm looking at this. Okay, now I'm going to take this and I'm going to wrap it up for now. All right, and hold that. Now I'm going to, this area that was left out right here, I still need to break that up. I brought that down, but what ends up happening in these two areas right here, this side and that side, all right, I'm going to bring the flat part of the head down. And one thing that we do when we're doing a perm, see there's the whole flat part of the head. And see how that travels all the way back? I mean, it's almost at the vertex. You're going to take your perm rod, you're going to place it right here, and you're going to leave a little bit out. There's your guide, all right? And do you see where that's right at the center, at the apex? All right, I showed you that today. That's at the apex. So I'm going to bring that, and then I'm going to take it at an angle. You see that slight angle in there. So what I want from this is I want this top to be the same length as this bottom, all right? I need just a little bit more. What this is telling me is, and this is the only one that's not going to necessarily be a straight line. So you're going to measure it. You're going to take your comb. There it is right there. And now, pretty close. Pretty close. Just a little bit more on the bottom only. And that's, I'm going to just bring that like that. Take that over there. And let's see how we've done. There it is. It's, see, I'm using the teeth of the comb. I'm using the teeth of the comb to measure it. And a little too much. And this is what takes time as well. Okay, use the teeth of the comb. It's right there. Teeth of the comb. Okay. It lies to me. Okay, but it still has to come at an angle. I don't want this any wider. All right, so I'm going to clean that up and bring this over. And this is what takes time. Okay, but you see that it is at a definite angle. All right? So now, let's take our comb again. There it is. And yes, finally got it. So I'm going to bring this forward. Get that out of the way. This now is going to be fed into this one. And you see now a defined triangle there. And I want to show you how you're going to section this off. Okay? Now remember, we have this line here, right? This is the center of the apex. This will help you get the other side down. So we're going to take this center of the apex, bring it down to match with this right here. Okay, I know I don't have my line perfectly clean right there, and I need it clean. So some of that, again, I'll move the mannequin so you can see what I'm talking about. So this is one section here. And I'm going to just put this one on there just to keep it out of the way. All right, so we've got our center section. It hasn't gotten messed up. These rollers here, these perm rods on this section here, it is just a little bit off. You see it? Where it's up a little bit? So I'm going to clean that up, and I'm going to take it off of this. I'm going to take it off the background. The clue about this area at the frontal area, let me make sure it's even. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Okay. The thing about that at the frontal area is that those rods are going to be going forward. These right here, from the apex down, would come forward. As I showed you the other day, when you put a perm rod here and you do it backwards, it's going to fall forward. So you want to, you do it back, it's going to fall forward. So you just bring it forward. It's not going to be that much of a change. Your client will still be able to control her hair.
5 minutes.
Okay, now we have 5 minutes, so last section, see this part? There you go. Take it, and you see where this is a straight line down. We don't want a straight line down. We're at the apex, at the center apex, so we're going to bring this over. Bring it back around. Now, how do we normally do this? Usually, once you get used to this and you see it and you know it, okay, I want to make sure, yeah, we're pretty even. Again, wonderful. Get another comb. We want to make sure, again, measure that's a little bigger, so we've got to take it off of this. And we can see it. See, it's got to come at an angle. We know we started there just like we started it there on the other side. So we're going to bring it at that angle all the way over. I want to get this out of the way. And realistically, once you know how to do this, okay, I'm going to measure it right there and right there. Yes, it's even. Once you know how to do this, you don't even go through that. You just take it, you start sectioning down from the center apex, you bring it straight down, pull that out of the way, section forward, and then the rest of it just falls into place because you know you've got to measure the rod on this side. There is a certain way to put the rods on this area, and I'm going to do a video, or tomorrow while we're in class, I want to show you, and if you want a video on that, I'll do it. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 section perm wrap. This is on long hair, so this is going to be a little wider here, and the rest just kind of falls into place. But there's a certain way to wrap these so then it comes straight down. I hope you got the information, students. I hope this really helps you. Take your time. See it? You can see that it's right there, just above the eye, and it just goes straight down, just like a mohawk. If it's easier for you to just take it straight down, just like a mohawk, try it. See what happens. Otherwise, follow this pattern. It helps you separate it, and then you just bring it down and create these areas. All right? Take care. God bless. I'll see you tomorrow in class. I hope this helps. Bye.